Hello everyone and welcome to Tailored Acres. I'm Taylor and I am a home gardener in Wisconsin Zone 4B. And today I am going to take you on a spring garden tour. It is a very windy day, so you'll see everything whipping around. This first area here is what we are calling our secret garden, and we're going to be putting a lot of work into it this year, I'm hoping. And my vision for the entrance here is to have a nice big arbor with a climbing rose on each side that has that like very light pink color to the rose. So hopefully we'll be able to achieve that. You can see how windy it is. The field back there is a disaster. Lovely. So this earlier this spring we had planted two let me see if I can get you down here, two willows down here, and this one has put out growth already, so at least we got one growing of the ones that we planted, which is awesome. So those will probably have to get moved as part of the plans here, but we'll see how that goes. So as you come in here, you can see there's paths in different directions, and in this center here is where I'm going to focus my efforts first. I'm going to clean up all these scraggly branches and everything to make it much more clean looking. But you can see we have some daffodils that the previous owner planted here, and they are so cute. Love those. And then I also planted right here, which is looking a little bit sad, but I planted a pulmonaria, which I believe this one was spot on, a proven winners variety. I love these. I actually have a couple other varieties around the yard that I'm going to move to this area. So the other thing to mention here is this ground cover is called vinca vine, and it puts out these adorable, adorable little purple flowers here. So I've seen people say that it kind of takes over, which I didn't plant any of this, so I don't know how much it took over, but it is everywhere in here. So I can definitely see that. And if we go down here farther, we have an arbor that I got from my mother-in-law, which is very exciting. And I don't know, it would be ideal to get something that grows up these, but this being shade, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Something flowering would be fun. But that's about it for this area for right now. So some other big news for our land is we put up this big pole shed, and all it needs is the garage doors and a driveway. Lots of aggregate to bring in for the drive up to it here, but that will be really nice to have for us. So as we move on to the landscaping here, this area was just like weeds last year, and as part of our expansion here, I'm hoping to dig all this out and either expand this garden a little bit more forward and be around here to meet in to make more sense, or something. I'm not quite sure yet, but it's definitely a work in progress there. So you can see the wind has been messing up my fabric here, and it's partially because my soil is getting so fluffy it's hard to keep the staples in. So that is the cut flower area. And then in front here, we have got lots of stuff going on. Daffodils and tulips. These are surprise lilies over here. This big tree. An azalea. These are sedum in front. I'm not sure what variety. Those were here when we moved in, and I've moved them around and expanded them here too. A few hyacinth are left. And we come down here, there's no real growth on the hydrangea yet. This is some type of panicle hydrangea. I'm not really sure. It's got the lace cap flower on it. And then we've got some varieties of phlox, which were, these two were here when we moved in, and that one I planted. Some grape hyacinth here, which are really cute. And then these are just miniature iris here. I'm trying to find one that's still blooming. They're such early bloomers and they're adorable. They're just a nice little ground cover. If I move around the back here, we got some purple columbine here. This row here is all crocus, and then there's a row in front of them that were the saffron crocus that are fall blooming. So those aren't hardy in our zone here in 4, but I'm giving her a shot because we're right next to the house. So and I was sick of moving them in and out. And then if we look down here, these are some roses that I propagated last year, and they're all showing growth. And then a random tulip, you know, because can't have that. Can't not have that. We got a phlox in here. And then these delphinium I'm going to be moving soon here. And I also saw you could split those, so I'm probably going to be doing that. Back here we have lupin, which I winter sowed a few years ago, and that's coming back. I'm probably going to move that out of this area and maybe into the secret garden. So this is all my cut flowers, and so far I have planted out Sweet William, and I moved my lisianthus, which you probably can't even see because they're so tiny. Microscopic. So hopefully those do well, but this is that front area of our garden here. And this view right here is why I wanted a dark shed, because plants just really pop against dark colors. It's looking really good. So this area is the new median garden, which is the back portion of what I'm calling it. This I call like the driveway garden. And the driveway garden was expanded last year, but some of this was started the year before. So we've got sedum in the front, we've got some iris, and then there's lots of peonies here. There's an open space here that I've been planting a dahlia every year. And this area, it has such a nice like gradual slope up to the plants, and I absolutely love that, and like that's always my goal now because it looks so good. This area here is a crocus lawn, and you can maybe see still some of the, let me see if I can show you here, see some of the leaves, and we're just going to be leaving this hopefully until those die back, but otherwise we'll mow it at a really high setting if we can't wait any longer. We live in the country, so it's not a big deal to let the lawn go a little bit longer. So you can see the peonies are coming up here, and I do want to mulch this area again. We got some heucherella, some grape hyacinth in here, and then this was a sage willow, which it does look like it's coming back. Had some very bizarre growth on it last year. So we'll see how that goes this year. All right, try not to make you sick. We'll pan back over here. So last year around here, and all this area, we just put cardboard down and compost on top. But we have some invasive soapwort here that is poking through. So I gotta decide what I'm gonna do on that. I may just get some more layers of cardboard down to try that, but it's pretty persistent. So I don't know. It's very frustrating for sure. But you can see that some of these little Jacob's ladders are coming back, and they are so adorable. I love variegated plants, so those were such a good find. And all of those came from, I think, 2 pots. They were so overgrown, and I separated them out, and it looks like most of them survived. All right, so what else do we got in here? Right now, there's some lamb's ear coming up, and we'll give you a better view of this here. Just looking back here, it's like I want to get a lot of this cleaned up this year, so like the backdrop to my landscaping also looks good. And so much of this was from the previous owners, and it's just like, it's a massive undertaking, so it's just been taking us a while. There's actually a tree growing out of that bathtub now. It's awesome. So these are 2 different willows that I got last year, and I think I'm gonna move this one in the back. I want this just all to be like a blanket of flowers. So I'm planning on planting cut flowers back here. You can see my daffodils are up and so cheerful right now. I'm so glad that I invested in those, and they should come back every year. I also have some more of that soapwort issue going on back here, which is very frustrating. And these guys, the yucca, I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave them or not. I've seen so many people like frustrated with how big the roots get, but I kind of envisioned having like a hedge of them back here behind the trees here. So I don't know, we'll see where I go with that one. Jury's still out. So I planted royal raindrops crab apples here last year. One is there, and there's one over here. And then you can see these tomato cages. Those are all limelight hydrangeas, and I took cuttings from my one over here, and this plant's patent actually expired, so you can do that legally too, which is awesome. So I had my parent one over there, and then all the little cutting babies, which all survived and are putting on green growth for this year, which is very exciting. So take a closer look at some of the daffodils here. Gotta step back a little bit. So these ones, they're kind of fading, but these ones are topsy-turvy, and they're just so beautiful and cheerful. They're a little dirty from the field across here, but I really like that look. I think it's gorgeous. And then over here we have, I don't know if these ones are replete or Delchenau. They look kind of similar. So there's a ladybug in that one in the back. But those are really pretty. And then there's some more that haven't bloomed yet, some different varieties. You can see this one's getting ready here. So I'll just kind of go back here, give you guys a look at it this way. You can see this is another entrance to the secret garden, but that won't be finished for a while. There's about 5 trees in there that fell to, well, not fell, died last year. Oak wilt got them, unfortunately. So I'll give you a look at that. So when I made this area, I just envisioned a green lane in between here, and I really like how it turned out. So I have a lot of work to do to finish the backside and the side along the driveway still. I ran out of stones, so they're very expensive to buy, so I'm hoping to find some free ones that I can haul in here. So that's that area. One more thing I want to show you in here is that I excuse me, started these from seed last summer, and I planted them out kind of in the fall, and they overwintered and they're looking great. And this is Summer Berries yarrow, and I'm going to be using it as a cut flower. So that was a great way to do this. I also did this with a couple other things, and it did not work out as well, but it was so dry this winter, I have a feeling that had something to do with it. So if we move on from the median garden here, I want to find somewhere else to store our garbage cans. But this here is the garage garden, what I'm calling it. And we removed a bunch of stuff from around this tree. You can see there's a ton of little shrubby things here growing. Those were from the lilac bush. And I think this is a snowball viburnum, which is beautiful. But I love this river birch. There we go. The bark is the cool part of it. It's just, I don't know, it's got a lot going on there. So we're keeping that tree. But this area was all new last year as well. And you can see we have like way too many blocks on here. That was from the previous owners. So probably to be distributing those around. So we have some columbine, iris coming up, different sedums here. And I planted these little grape hyacinths last year. They're just so cute. There was a big bumble on them yesterday when I was out here, and I wish I would have got a picture of it. So, and then that guy is a miniature 9-bark, and it's beautiful. I love it so much. And I got that from Twin Creeks Nursery last year in Adams. And we've got some cactus there in the back. And this is a variegated reed grass. I just thought that was so pretty. I'm so glad it came back. And hopefully I'll be able to divide it and spread it around this year. All right, so then I moved this rose here. It was new last year out in the front, and I'm hoping it survives the move, but it's looking good so far this year. So that's that area there, the garage garden. And this bed's theme is pink. All right, so then if we move into the backyard here, this fence is also from the previous owners, but we haven't taken it down to replace it yet. There's blueberry bushes in here, which I've slowly nursed back to life, and we got just an absolute bumper crop last year. You can probably barely see them in there. They have not quite started budding out yet. All right, and then last year too, we dug out this whole area. There was maple in here, which was like way too close to the house, and a bunch of other scraggly looking things. So in this enclosure here is my peach tree, which is putting on leaves already. Looks nice and happy. And then I think we'll go, actually let's go this way first. So this is the garden, the vegetable garden. This is what we call the greenhouse. We do not use it as a greenhouse. It's in disrepair. It doesn't have a clear roof, so I don't think you could even use it as that. But here I planted tulips with daffodils in between, which the daffodils have not bloomed yet. And, well, ever, I should say. And then we have rhubarb in between. These are getting ready for potatoes. And then if we go over here, this bed was all in here before. It was completely overgrown with grass, so I actually dug all of this up by hand. And this is the only area that's wood chipped, which is the goal, to get the rest of it wood chipped. So this is my shade plants over here. So we've got some heuchera that I got last year, some different kinds of pulmonaria, brunnera, all coming up and looking cute. And then my favorite plants probably, hellebores. So this one is absolutely gorgeous. And I moved all these last year, so I wasn't sure if they would bloom. This one is still working on putting out blooms. That little guy got last year, and this one is just starting to bloom here. You can see they're gonna be beautiful. And then this one is putting out a couple. And these I might move to the secret garden too, but we'll see here. So then we have another panicle hydrangea up here. Some more surprise lilies. And then this whole planting area is gonna be lilies for the most part, and daisies, which I am growing on from seed. We'll see how it goes. So this was all new last year, and I did the cardboard thing again, but we have a lot of grass growing back through, and it's this grass that sends like the runner. It is the worst stuff to get rid of. So I may also lay another thing of cardboard down here. We'll see what ends up happening there. So this area right here is where I'm thinking about moving that willow. It is mostly shade, but I think it will still be okay. I guess we'll find out. And then down here is some Solomon seal that one of my gardening friends gave me. So there's a couple areas of it back here. I'm looking forward to that. And those make great filler for cut flowers. So that's that area. There's some more heuchera over here. And this needs to get cleaned back here badly. So we're gonna swing around. I guess I'm gonna show you guys this. These are all my plants that I'm currently hardening off. So these are all perennials, onions, shallots, snapdragons, sweet william, brassicas, and foxglove. And these will all get, these are also snapdragons, these will all get planted out really soon. They are cold hardy, so just waiting on me. All right, so then we'll swing around here. And I did plant some trees in the back here, some maples, 1, 2, 3, and I'm hoping those will take. These are all oaks back here, which are huge and beautiful, but like I said before, we have a issue with oak wilt here, so just a contingency plan. So this was an expansion last year, which is kind of the theme of our garden. We've only been here, this will be our 5th summer here now. So a lot of this still needs to get finished and cleaned up. So this is a lilac that was here when we moved in. And this big gate will go in. So this is what we're calling the orchard. And I have 4 apple trees back here. So this first one is a halara, and then the other 3 are a honeycrisp, and they're all dwarf trees. So my only concern here is that the halara like already has buds going on here. Let's see if I can get that to focus. There we go. And the other ones like are barely just starting with their growth. So this one is supposed to be a companion tree to the honeycrisp, but it doesn't seem like it's at the right time. So I'm gonna have to do some more research into that. Here are the tulips I planted as cut flowers. You can see that they're starting to go, which is exciting. There was one that was ready last night and I pulled it and took it inside to enjoy myself. So I did direct sow some things in here. I thought I saw something come up, but maybe this guy here. So not a whole lot going on yet there, but it has been really cold and dry. And then if we walk down here, this is where the ranunculus is. Wow, I can't remember what it's called. And I have got it covered with leaves because it was really cold for a while, but it should act as a good mulch too. So we'll see if we get flowers out of there this year. Next here we've got let me zoom out here. This is our asparagus patch that I put in last year. And I don't think there's any growth on it yet, but it is a little bit early still. And this is where our expansion connects into our original garden. So I've got a strawberry patch here. And this is the wild side. I haven't tamed it yet. I did take we got like raspberry bushes growing in here. I did take a few scoops out for a friend yesterday. And this is the tame side that I did last year, and those are all looking good. I did plant some ever-bearing strawberries in the middle here now, the seascapes that I also planted in the planters here. And then we just got everything else in here that hasn't been planted yet, except for the garlic, which is looking really good. So I did just fertilize that the other day. It is heavy nitrogen feeder, so we got to take care of that. But I think that's about it for our garden here. These are all the pots that are on drip. And this area does also have asparagus in it. And you can see in the back there, I planted garlic a while ago and it's like, it just keeps coming back, which is really weird to me. So let me see if I can zoom in for you. Goofy. So this, I don't think I see any asparagus coming up yet either. Oh, I do see one. Right there. They're so hard to see at first. So we realized that we just need more because it's delicious, especially fresh. But this area got totally overgrown last year and I need to tame it as well. So that is my vegetable garden and the rest of it. So I hope you enjoyed getting a little tour of everything I've got going on, and take care.